A scalp massage, not a head massage.
Sounds like she was really fun to make Terenzio blush. So I had to
Open your mouth wide.
oh God, you did so.
Oh my gosh.
Marlo, tell us about what was difficult for you when deciding to become a hairstylist.
Well, my difficulty was actually in the fact that I did it when I was in my 30s. I always wanted to do it when I was in high school, go to beauty culture, but my mom wouldn't allow me to. So she had read an article about how all hairstylists make under minimum wage and there's no future and they'll be out of it in 5 years. So I was miserable, and it was actually my hairstylist that said, well, what did you want to be when you were growing up? And I said, well, funny, I wanted to be a hairstylist. And he looked at me and went, duh. So and my mom felt so bad for not letting me go when I wanted to that she actually paid for my hair school.
Oh,
So.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, Marlo, I've been doing this for almost 20 years, and my mother still refers to it as a hobby. Yeah, like, it's a hobby, pays my bills, feeds my family, but it's a hobby. It's not a real job.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess some parents just have a little bit of a harder time with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had a lot of support from my family. My dad wasn't as supportive. Again, similar to you guys, I don't think he thought that they made a lot of money. And yeah, I kind of proved them wrong. I raised both my kids from working from home, and it's been great. Like, I think with another career, I would have had to pay for them to be in childcare. And when I did grow my business working from home, it was awesome because I was only taking a few clients at a time. And yeah, it slowly grew as my kids got older, and I'm super busy now. So I haven't really had a lot of challenges. I think everything's just worked out for me. I mean, obviously challenges in the way, just getting clients and that kind of thing, but yeah.
Regular hairstyling challenges, not extra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Not
nothing wrong with that.
my family was fairly supportive, other than my dad kind of encouraging me to go maybe in the dental field or something that paid more. And I think his other worry was a lot of fumes from chemicals and standing all day. And my aunt is a hairstylist as well. She has a lot of back problems and things like that. So seeing his sister go through things like that, I think, is one of his biggest worries. But yeah.
And a lot of people that get into the industry, especially with family members, because I can relate to that, for people that don't know what the industry has to offer, it's hard for them to see what it's all about. Because let's be honest, after school, let's be honest, it's a lot of fun. It's relationships, you're making people feel great. A lot of the times it's emotionally satisfying in terms of monetary. I mean, you can make a lot of money too, but there's a lot of areas people don't understand. I think that's what makes this industry so unique. That's why the culture's so tight.
Yeah, absolutely, it is. Yeah, it's a lot harder on the body than people think it is, and it's a lot more emotionally draining than people think it is. It's right, listening to people all day long. You're giving of yourself all day long to other people, and people who aren't in the industry don't realize that it can be really exhausting at the end of the day. In a good way lots of times, but also sometimes people maybe take more of our energy than we wanted to give them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where you have to fire clients.
Exactly.
Hey, that's going to be a next topic. How to fire a client.
True, yeah.
You know what? Actually, I was thinking about that for Friday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
I've had to do it too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that opens up a whole basket of worms, because it'd be like, why did you fire them? Was it because they were mean? Was it because they were hygienically disgusting? Was it lice?
Yeah.
Were they weird?
Well, I guess people will just have to tune in to Fridays to see that topic.
Yeah.
So tell me, Nat, so what's something that you did in hair school that went really wrong?
Well, actually, my mom asked me to use a razor on her hair, and we hadn't touched base on razors. All I knew was you weren't supposed to use a razor on curly hair. And my mom insisted that I used a razor on her hair. My mom has very curly hair. It can be very hard to cut. And I gave her a mullet. she's like, you just have to do this. And my old hairstylist did it. It's not that hard. And trust me, it'll work out good. Well, I started out doing her bangs and slowly went further back. And I was left with the mid to ends, and it didn't blend, but she made me do it.
So do you have a picture?
No, but she might. I can probably dig one up.
You'd have to ask her.
It was horrible. After that, I did not want to use a razor at all. But she'll never let me live it down.
Oh, I bet. That's so funny that you say razor was your worst, because I have a similar razor story. So when I was in hair school, I'm technically right-handed, but I do everything with my left hand. So I was cutting with my left hand. My left hand was my main hand, and my teacher was adamant that I had to learn how to do everything with my right hand. That scissors were cheaper, and it just made more sense. I had to do everything right-handed, since that was technically the hand that I was. So we were doing razoring in school, and thankfully it was on a mannequin and not on a real life model. But so we were supposed to comb and then razor, and then comb and then razor, to kind of take out the weight line of the hair. And I kept getting my hand switched, and I end up with my comb in my right hand, and then my razor was in my right hand, and I kept screwing it all up. Well, I combed with what I thought was a comb with my left hand, which was the straight razor, and took a solid chunk out of the back of my mannequin head. It was like this wide, and it just went from the top. I took the whole section out, and I gasped so loud, and I swear you could hear the chunk of hair hit the floor, and everyone in the classroom just stopped to look at what I was doing. And I was like, yeah, and I'm done. I don't want to razor anymore. It was awful.
Traumatized.
At least it was a mannequin.
Yeah.
It was a mannequin, and you know what? I don't think we got tested on razors, and I'm pretty sure I didn't touch one for like another 4 years, because I was so scared that I would do the same thing. Oh, it was awful.
That's awesome.
When I was in the salons, I saw a lot of talented hairdressers. Some I questioned because of the way they were razoring the hair. I felt they were taking too much off. You know that technique where they're just slicing through? It was an art just watching it. It's like watching a fish tank. Your eyes just get captured into the moment, but it can go wrong.
Oh yeah.
For sure go wrong. What about you, Marlo? What do you got?
Well, I didn't have too many problems when I was in hair school, to be honest, but I think that the toughest thing for me was way back when, and I'm not sure they still do it, but we had to do roller sets. And we had these little wonderful old ladies come in and fall asleep precisely when you were trying to roll.
Oh.
And it was really difficult to roll when they were like this or when they were like this. You couldn't get the underneath. Like it was, and then to wake them up with tissue because they were drooling all on their face.
Oh.
That was a good time. But I was always the best at it, so I had to do a lot of them. Yeah.
You must have a calming touch.
Yeah, I must.
Hey, if you were getting all the work.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they just fell asleep like instantly when they got up in the chair.
Are you good at head massages when you do the shampoo? Yeah. You're nodding your head. You know you're good at it.
I took classes on that.
Can you give us an example of what the motion would be around the head?
Like if on like I was doing a massage.
Yeah. What would it look like?
Well,
This won't be creepy at all, I swear. Massage the air.
Your head's cut off.
I would like the scissor motion over the ears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that works because they say like along the temple area there. That's like parietal ridge.
Yeah.
Is that what it's? Yeah.
And definitely up the back of the neck. If you lift their head a little bit and massage up into the back of the neck, there's so much stress there. People just will go crazy.
There's actually 4 pressure points behind each ear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really want to get into it, you can do the pressure points on their foreheads too.
Yeah.
That's
something I think just made me think of it when we're talking about scalp massages and shampooing. One thing I think all hairstylists would love our customers to know is close your eyes. Right? Close your eyes. We love you. You have beautiful eyeballs.
Like
exactly.
Nothing creepier than someone just staring at you like, do it.
Up your nose.
Right? And they don't blink. And you're like, you can close your eyes to relax. And they go, mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's when you accidentally splash them.
Okay, wait a minute.
You should close your eyes.
And people's defense, because I'm one of them. When my stylist would shampoo my hair, I felt like I was doing something wrong. I felt like I was insulting them or being disrespectful by closing my eyes. I don't know what it is, but that's what I felt.
No,
That's what I
we
felt.
want you to close your eyes.
So I was one of the ones that would stare.
Got to make eye contact at all times.
Yeah.
There was something intimate about it, though. I'm not gonna lie.
When I was a young stylist, young apprentice, actually one of the stylists I was apprenticing under, she was so funny, and she used to do this to her customers all the time. If they wouldn't close their eyes, we had the kind of the old-fashioned handles, which are like a shower head, not the tap ones. And so when she was going across the top of their face, instead of putting her hand here, she'd kind of spread her finger so a little bit of water would shoot through. And then she'd go, "Oh, you know what? Just close your eyes. I can't get your eyeballs wet if you keep them closed." And then she'd just put a towel over their faces. Just to make sure that they kept their eyes closed. Yeah, it's too.
I have one client that used to do that all the time, and she would literally tilt her head back to be able to look. So I invented a new technique, and we had hot face towels. We usually did for the men. So she didn't wear makeup, so I didn't worry about it, but I would just do the hot towel, but I would cross it right over her eyes so she couldn't see. She thought everybody got it, but it was just her.
Could you give us
a little extra?
Could you give us a quick 1 minute explanation of how to do a massage? Because Amy, what I could do with this is cut this into small little segments, how to do a massage, and then it just gets it out there. So yeah, if you want to share, what's your secret to a massage? A head massage.
Scalp massage, just to be clear. Scalp.
A scalp massage. Not a head massage.
That was actually just really fun to make Terenzio blush. So I had
Well, open your mouth wide.
Oh God, he's gonna choke.
Oh my gosh.
Terenzio's a newly married man, so he's still in the honeymoon phase.
I'm not married yet, but
Well,
pretty much.
they're as close as can be.
I'm not shy, don't get me wrong, but when you have 3 beautiful women staring at you talking about that, I don't know. It's the.
I told you this one was gonna be
Good thing you're sitting down.
laugh. Exactly. Just imagine, like the world needs to laugh. This is what we're gonna do today. Marlo, so tell us, what are your tips on giving a really great scalp massage?
To me, the scalp massage is number one about pressure, and you always have to ask. I see people doing it, and they're not looking at the person's face. I personally ask, how is this pressure for you? Because if they don't like it really hard, then they're not going to enjoy it. So you have to ask. But to me, it's about the pressure. For myself, I like to get a good, strong scalp massage. So, for me, I took an Ayurvedic class on scalp massage. So actually hitting the scalp pressure points, I find that a lot of people don't hit those in the right places. So, and like Amy was talking earlier, the neck, people tend to forget about the neck, and a lot of things have ergodynamically changed. So their neck is easier to get to, but if you still have those things that are pushed back, you need to lift the head up. The number 2 thing for me is telling people to relax, because when they do, and they're stiff like this, they're not going to enjoy it, especially not for the neck part of it. For me, it's the pressure points around the face, all along the face, the hairline, especially in the temples, and the ones behind the ears hold a lot of tension in the scalp and the head. So for me, it's really focusing around here, the neck, and the crown of the head. A lot of people forget to do the crown as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's something that all stylists could benefit from. I also took a course when I was a young apprentice. My salon was mandatory, and it was a game changer. The amount of people who I'm sure came to see me afterwards only because I gave a great scalp massage.
Yeah.
That was a big part of it. And I would go 2, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, depending on what it was. If I was just putting a toner on their ends, maybe I'll give them a 10-minute lazy scalp massage. But it really, really brings a whole personal aspect to it. And I mean, let's face it, pretty much all people like having their hair played with. And a scalp massage is just one more step of that. It's even better.
So for the guys out there that are watching this that aren't hairdressers and want to give their girlfriends/wives a good scalp massage without the shampoo part, the same thing would work, right? They could just use their fingers.
Yeah, it would work. You just have to be careful. You want to make sure you're putting your fingers through the hair and not on the hair. That's a big mistake. Even from hairstylists and apprentices, is when they're trying to give you a scalp massage, they put their hands on top of the head and then rub the hair, and that pulls your hair. That doesn't feel really nice. So you want to slide your fingers into the hair so that it's onto the scalp, and then moving your fingers around.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm good then.
There you go. Now, Terenzio, you can say you know how to give a great scalp massage or head massage, whichever you prefer. Had to throw it back. Sorry, guys.
I'll have you know, I give great scalp massages to Tammy.
I'll
It
be
loves
asking Tammy to confirm on that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Turns into a shoulder massage and then a back massage. And the reason why is because I get a leg scratch after, so it's worth it for me.
There you go. Perfect.
That's another thing people really tend to like are, like I always have fake nails on, it's the scratching. I always finish, in hair school, they teach you not to use your nails ever, always just the pads of your fingers. But I always finish my scalp massages running my fingernails on their scalp and they just start purring.
As long as they're not sharp, oh, it feels good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't
It's
think
like one
you
of
can
those
get
tools that you
nails
can buy that you just put on top of someone's head and it gives a good scratch, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those metal things, right? They were
Yeah. Yeah.
pushed it through the head. It actually felt really good, but it does get tangled in your hair if you let a child do it on your head.
Oh, wow.
Just so you
Yeah.
I will give you one bit of advice, do not put that on somebody with hair like mine.
Yeah.
Not on curls like that. Not on curls like that. And definitely don't let your child do it because they will twist it.
Oh God.
Have a whole nother situation trying to get that out of your hair. Did you guys ever do that when you were younger, when you didn't know how to use a round brush and you'd round brush and then you'd wrap your hair all up in it and you couldn't get it out and you'd spend like
Yep.
7 hours trying to unwrap your hair from this brush?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, I have to use a round brush for my beard every morning. Otherwise, I won't get that full. So I have to like round brush it. So, but I don't know. I'm having problems with it because I feel like even when I add heat, I get the frizziness on one side. So I have to like set it, grow it out.
You need some beard balm, Terenzio. Don't worry. It's on its way to you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Much appreciated.
Beard balm on its way.
What is the weirdest request that you ever had from a customer?
Oh, I got a good one. So working from home, it was at my old house, or my salon was set up in the basement, and my kids had a playroom right next to my salon. Well, I did have a little wax pot set up that I just do brows or a lip or whatever, right? And one of my clients asked if I would wax elsewhere, and at first I was thinking like, what do you want me to wax? Like, oh, like my bikini, my legs, like, whoa.
Oh, so it was a girl.
It was a girl. It was a girl. Yeah, I'm like, well, I don't really have a setup. I don't have a bed for this. Oh, it's okay. I can just take my pants off and we can do this here. I'm like, yeah, I don't think I have enough wax for that. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a little awkward. I'm like, well, my kids are home. No.
But what kind of weird was that? Was it just like a weird request, or was it like a really weird request? Like maybe there
Well,
was.
it was just a little weird, a little awkward, but
So what would you recommend stylists? How would they handle something like that if you could have done it again? The same way?
oh yeah, I kind of just made a joke about it. I just kind of try not to make people feel stupid. You kind of take it lightly, right?
Yeah.
Brush it off like, oh well, maybe I'll have to get more wax. Well, I'll let you know next time. Kinda. She never brought it up
You're out of
again. I think
wax.
she kind of took the hint.
How about you, Marlo?
I don't really know too many, but I just have one client who, you've got that one client that they style their hair and you just think, oh God, please don't make me do that.
Yeah.
And in your head, when they're leaving the salon, you're thinking, please don't tell anyone I do your hair. I have a client that is like that. She waits 6 months until our salon will then send out a gift certificate saying to a lost client. So she comes in and gets $25 off of her haircut. And she makes me cut it 3 times because I don't want it to go too short, but that's not short enough. No, don't go too short, but that's not short enough. And then she makes me back comb it. She's quite fine hair, but she makes me back comb her hair out further than her shoulders, like in this huge bouffant. She's a lovely woman, but wow. Her hair, interesting.
How about you, Amy?
I have a couple that are crazy. One of my favorite stories is from someone that I was an educator when I was a young stylist. It wasn't mine, and I don't remember who it was. I remember it was a male stylist, but we were asking him at the time, I think it was probably 2004, 2003, and texture was starting to come back into the hair, and so people were starting to ask for perms. I did a lot of perms in hair school, but a lot of the stylists that I worked with didn't do any perms. And so every time a perm came into the salon, they came to me, and I hated them. I was so done with them. So I asked this educator, I'm like, do you do perms? Like, what do you recommend? He said he doesn't do perms. He didn't like the current technology behind perms, and so he didn't do them. I'm like, well, what do you do if a customer asks you? And he goes, well, he's like, here's the situation. He goes, if a customer comes in and asks me for a perm and I give him a perm, it's going to be the best damn perm in the entire world. And then she's going to go and tell all of her permy friends that I give the best amazing perm in the world. And then my chair is going to be full of people asking me to do perms. So I don't do perms. I'm like, oh, I like it. It's a good story. Now, unfortunately, as a young stylist, I was building a clientele, so I couldn't really adapt that to myself. But I just thought it was really funny from his point of view. It's like not going to happen. And the funny thing is, he said the same thing about mullets. Refused to do mullets because it would be the best damn mullet in the world, and he did not want all of her mullety friends coming in and asking for mullets.
Here we are again.
Yeah, I know. And here we are again. Texture and mullets back in style.
I have 2 mullet clients.
Oh,
I have the shullets. I have the shag shullets.
oh
Nice.
yes. I had a few of those. I remember we had one customer, she came in and her ponytail was probably this thick. And the
Okay.
top of her head was buzzed to about a 4, right to about here, and then in a ponytail. And she had asked if somebody in the salon could give her a haircut to cut all her ponytail one length and then buzz the top of her head down a little bit shorter to like a 2. And we all stood there going,
No.
we do
Yeah,
not want you telling anyone.
don't want my name on that.
No.
Nobody here is going to do that for you. Sorry, not happening.
If you are watching this video and you have a question, make sure you throw them down in the comments below and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that you're up to date for every future content that we create.